about the contents of the site. The New York Times reports weapons experts said the site had too much detail about Iraq's covert nuclear research before the 1991 Gulf War. In a statement, a spokesman for National Intelligence Director John Negroponte said the material currently on the website, as well as the procedures used to post new documents, will be carefully monitored before the site becomes available again. Jim.
Well, now to a story about waste and fraud in Iraq, and a Republican lawyer who exposed some of the wrongdoings by American companies and officials. It was 2 weeks ago that Stuart Bowen and his office was ordered shut down. It was a move that came in a clause, not seen by many, inside a budget bill. Many lawmakers say they had no idea it was there. Democratic Congressman Rob Andrews, a ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee, joins us now. Were you involved in those negotiations? Some of the accounts say that the Republicans wanted to put this in, and there was a debate with the Democrats over it. Others say they had no idea where this even came from.
There was a last-minute, middle-of-the-night argument between the staff on the Republican side and the staff on the Democratic side. This was snuck into the bill in the middle of the night. It is an outrage. The auditing office should be left open. And frankly, when we go back to Washington, whether it's the Republicans or Democrats in charge, we're going to insist that this auditing office be kept open.
How much money is thought to have gone missing in Iraq? Some say there's $9 billion in oil for food money that really belonged to the Iraqis that U.S. taxpayers may have to pay back. In the meantime, the U.S. taxpayers pumped in hundreds of millions of dollars to Iraq.
Jim, the answer is we don't know. And that's why we need an auditor. And the gentleman who's there has done an exemplary job.
And he's a Republican.
Republican and Democrat doesn't matter here. He's done an exemplary job, and I salute him. And the very idea that at a time there's been so much graft, so much fraud, and so much waste, that this would be shut down in the middle of the night with a provision snuck into the bill at the last minute shows you why I think the American people on Tuesday are going to make a wholesale change in the United States Congress and switch control from the Republicans to the Democrats.
Yeah, and I want to note here, Congressman Andrews, you are running for office, but you're running unopposed. So you're not here to beat one of your, opponents here in order to get elected by bringing up these charges about the corruption and...
No, that's right.
I'm very humbled. Aside from that.
Yeah, I'm very humbled by the fact that I do not have an opponent in my race, but I'm outraged by the fact that this lawyer who's doing such a good job in Iraq is going to have his operation shut down because evidently somebody in Washington wants to shut him down. We are just not going to let that happen.
All right. More on that in a moment. Let me ask you something. Did the Democrats then, did you vote for this bill?
I did, because it had a pay raise for the troops, it had material for the field, and frankly, no one had a clue or any inclination that this offensive provision was in there.
All right. So it got through. That happens. Some Democrats are saying now that they're going to undo all of this. They're going to specifically go back in and reauthorize that office for the special investigator for reconstruction in Iraq.
Yes, we are. I've spoken to the office of Mr. Skelton, who's going to be the chairman of the committee if we win. I know that Congresswoman Pelosi, who will be speaker if we win, has made a commitment that we will indefinitely authorize the presence of that auditor. As long as there is American lives and American dollars on the line, we need to have that auditor operating. It is an outrage that this was taken out by a provision put into the bill in the middle of the night. It is also very typical of the culture of corruption that we've seen in Washington, D.C.
Culture of corruption, and it should be pointed out, like Senator Warner, there are some Republicans that feel exactly as Congressman Rob Andrews feels.
Justifiably so.
All right. Thank you very much for being with us so close to the election.
Thank you.
All right. The man Washington once called a little dictator may be set for a comeback.
Daniel Ortega has traded